Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is another episode of Relax and Raunchy Relationship Podcast with me, Ingrid Galloway, and my super duper guest, Samantha Tune. Woohoo! I'm very excited about this episode simply because I've met Sam for how long now? Not very long, but I'm just so inspired because she is the founder of this coffee collaboration whereby um, there's a bunch of ladies, their consciousness, like conscious entrepreneurial ladies, right? And she provides support and networking group. However, let me properly introduce you to her. Sam is an international holistic hair therapist. Ooh, that's different. She worked regularly at fashion weeks around the globe, such as Sydney, New York, and London. And today, she is the founder of Tune Training. Very smart, using your last name. Everything is tuned up, providing well-being training to hairdressing and clients to create more conscious, safe space salons. That's very different. Good to have a point of difference. She combines Reiki energy healing, angel type reading, and hairdressing together to create a holistic, safe space salon experience. She uses her influence to empower and support women by facilitating self love workshops and is the founder of the Coffee Collaboration, as I mentioned earlier. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here and share some magic together.
I love magic. Bring it on.
Yeah, so blessed and honored. Um, so yeah, I'm so blessed and honored to be sharing this place with you too, Ingrid. Like all of the amazing work that you're doing, and yeah, let's give you a little intro. So Ingrid Galloway is the founder and relationship coach and Chief Relaxation Officer of, I hope I say this right, KAHYANGAN. How did it
Right,
go?
almost there.
um, which means heaven. Ah, I love that. She has been a relationship coach for 12 years and a spa therapist for 22 years. She practices from KAHYANGAN in Sydney from clients' homes, offices, and hotel rooms, online, forums, and retreat locations. Her work has always been focused on stress, relaxation, and relationships, and always ready to look after loving and not so loving couples and broken hearted singles. She does one on one coaching sessions, group workshops, and virtual retreats and in person retreats. Wow. Wow, that's so amazing. How do you do it all? So cool. And just, yeah, this is what people need as well. Like, I love that you work with lonely, heartbroken, like singles too, not just relationships. It's like so important.
That's right. Now, I'm always curious to find out my guest why. So, Sam, what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
So I do what I do so that I can basically help people find their true selves and true inner beauty from within. So, coming from a background of poor mental health and low socioeconomic upbringing, I experienced the impact of mental health and lack of access to mental support with my mum growing up and being hospitalised as well, which was also a spiritual awakening without the appropriate support or guidance. So, as a hairdresser, I noticed I gained so much trust.
Mm,
Like, that was my safe space. Like, hairdressing saved me. My
mm,
clients holding space for me and perspectives. I then quickly realized how much of a powerful position that we hold as hairdressers with our relationships with clients. So going on this spiritual journey really opened my eyes to the magic that can be created within the salon, because you have the opportunity to sit down sometimes with a stranger and sometimes with someone you've got to know over the year, weekly. So you get to know people on a really deep level. And I never used to see my inner beauty. I used to make myself sick. I used to attract toxic relationships.
Mm.
I used to abuse substances and alcohol. So doing this work has healed me. So now I really am so passionate about helping others find that light within themselves too, because I once never seen it and never thought this would be me today. So I'm so passionate about creating that accessibility for others, because there's so much stigma around
Mental health.
mental health
Yeah.
and spirituality as well. Like, it's, people think it's woo woo, and yeah, how can we not acknowledge our mental health without acknowledging the spirit? So yeah, I really wanted to help on a bigger scale too, which is where coffee collaboration come in, and also tune training, and to help give hairdressers the support that they require, because they're already accidental counselors, but they don't have the training or support, which is such a shame, but is a gap that I'm hoping to bridge.
Yes, because as therapists, like my back training as beauty therapist, massage therapist, we didn't have that sort of like EQ sort of training, more spiritual sort of training, and slightly lacking in business training as well. So it's all about, how to become a good therapist, but not necessarily the other side of it that we need. We need to be there. We need to be the therapist, not just the hairdresser doing the hair, or the massage therapist doing the muscle, or skin therapist doing the skin, but all the other side of it as well, that typical colleges don't realize, that not teaching that. Yeah, and then once we jump into the industry, and then a lot of people get burned pretty quickly because they can't handle it.
Yeah, they love the job, but then they go, oh, the people, like, it was just draining. But when you're touching people, energy transference, it's so big.
Yeah.
And we release oxytocin and serotonin and all the happy hormones, which psychologists can't touch their clients.
Yes.
There's a gap in the system as it is. It's quite dehumanizing and scary to go and speak to someone. Plus, I was reading a study, and only 35% of people struggling with mental health actually seek support.
Mm.
Only 35%. And that's before COVID.
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to be experiencing, the beauty in the massage industry, and even the spirituality side, like that's where more people are turning to. Like, a lot of people don't have lost a lot of trust within the system. So yeah, I think it's really powerful where we both sit as well in the industry.
Mm.
So what's your why then, Ingrid? Why do you do what you do within relationship coaching?
So I came from a very religious family in Indonesia, and I came here uh, by the age of 21, so very young, to marry my husband, but partly to escape from my mom. So newsflash, that's not the best reason to get married. I came from Indonesia, run away to Australia. That was always my goal. Is I want to get out of here, because even though I love Indonesia, it's in my blood. It's in my tattoo. Like it's me. It's who I am. But I just didn't feel back home, simply because there are a lot of shame, a lot of guilt built into the, preconditioning, different mindset, and I felt that I wasn't home being home. So that's why I always wanted to get out. And one way to get out was to get married. And even though I was in love with my ex-husband, but that's not the 100% reason why I got married. However, 10 years after that, unfortunately, the marriage was an abusive one. So I left after 3 attempts. And in my self-healing journey through that, I went through depression, anxiety, all the juicy stuff. I went to see a couple of therapists. I went to several self-development seminar to change my paradigm, to change my mindset. And also I went back to college to study counseling and life coaching. And straight away, I knew that I would be a coach, not a counselor. And straight away, I knew that my niche would be in relationship and nothing else. So, because I am, as you are, passionate and compassionate, with people that experiencing something similar, and also with mental health as well. That's why, I am quite uh, vulnerable, even on social media, whereby in Indonesia, for example, it's so taboo to talk about your mental health. It's looked down upon. Yes, yeah. That's why people just don't say it. They're afraid that they will be considered crazy. Who doesn't feel like they're crazy, right? Because of stress, etc. But it's just something that we don't really talk about. And I feel that I need to bring a, a light on this matter, because I've experienced it myself. Sometimes I struggle, sometimes I go down, sometimes I go up. Well, most of the time I go up and help inspire others. And I guess that's my journey.
I love that because most most of the questions when I do like angel cards or most of the topic of conversation within the conscious hairdressing is about relationships or love. It's such a huge part of our spiritual growth, and it's not something that we're really taught about. Of it kind of gets forgotten about. So you go into them toxic relationships until it ends up being that pain point, and then you seek something else. So it's amazing that you do that.
Yeah, sometimes I think therapists naturally they hit rock bottom of whatever kind, and then they learn from it, and then they come the other side and help others or inspire others. So, yay!
Yay, go us. That's so good.
Now, Sam, I would love to hear some tips from you to showcase your inner and outer beauty, because you're in the beauty industry, the hair industry. Everybody want to look good, but it's just what you can see up here, right?
Yeah. Well, I obviously work holistically.
Hmm.
It, so yeah, some tips are to look in the mirror every single day. Now this is homework, like forever,
Hmm.
for as long as you remember, and say, I love you and I accept you and I am proud of you.
Hmm.
There's such, we forget, we forget so much that the world we experience outside is a direct reflection of our internal state.
Hmm.
So self-love and beauty all starts from within.
Hmm.
Another tip will be to look for the things that are going well in your life and the things that you like and love about yourself. So too often we get caught up in step one, which is the contrast, and then we have them self-depreciating thoughts that take us down that negative spiral of, why did this happen to me? This isn't going wrong. And then you start looking at the things you don't like, and then you just create more momentum for that. So then That is therefore the world you experience. And that is what a lot of us are in right now. It's the autopilot as well, because what you look for is what you see. And then the media and the Western culture does not help. So look for the things that are going well and that you love about yourself. And then number 3 is when making a choice, listen to the body. The mind will always play tricks on you. So feel it in your heart and gut and see what that has to say. And if it feels aligned, then go for it. So too often, if we're if we're following the path of resistance, we will feel out of alignment. So I bring awareness back to the full body and use that as a tool, because when you're in alignment and you're living your life's purpose, your beauty just glows and radiates. You become a powerful, vibrating magnet walking down the street. So yeah, they're my 3 tips, and all working on the internal, because then the external just happens.
Yeah, it shines from within.
It does.
Yes. Oh, very wise, very wise. Oh, yes, yes, beautiful.
And what would you say your 3 tips are for relationships then?
Yeah. So today I would like to cover 3 tips on dating for singles looking for their soulmate.
I missed that. It cut out.
Oh, do you think it's going to be juicy?
Oh, I'm so excited. I've manifested this.
Hey, people. So my tip number 1, when you are a single person looking for your soulmate, know your top 3 non-negotiable items. So what are your 3 must-haves and 3 must-not-have? Hence, you set your pathway the right way. Say, if you are in business, your business coach will say, okay, who is your avatar? Who is going to buy your product or your services? You can't please everyone. It's like, oh, yeah, everyone can use my products or services. No, 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 no. Business coach will say, narrow down your avatar. So search, you need to market to just this group of people, not everyone, right? Because you will attract the wrong type of people. The same thing here. You need to know your 3 must-haves and 3 must-not-have. Hence, you can remove your blinkers. Uh, I'll give you an example. My husband and I, we were the success story of RSVP. Yes, online dating can be a success. This is my second husband, by the way, not the first one. And one of my must not have item, I will not marry a smoker. However, when we're dating, he was a smoker. So I was taking a risk, but because everything else, we kind of like speak and communicate from the same wavelength, whereby I dated another 2 guys at the same time. I dated him before I asked him to be my boyfriend. So I dated 3 guys at the same time. That was a bit wild. But yeah, we're just on the same wavelength, and that's my must-have. We need to communicate in the same way. We want the same thing, but I will not marry a smoker, and therefore he stopped smoking. He knew what is my 1 must-not-have item, but he wanted to stop anyway. He's been trying to stop. So it's not like me forcing him to stop. No, no, no. He wanted to stop anyway. But as smokers, it's an addiction. It's difficult to stop all at once. Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you go back. Sometimes you start again. But eventually he quit completely and he never looked back.
Yeah.
So that's your three non-negotiable items. Tip number two is listening. Now, I will say the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand. We listen to reply. So when you're dating, um, your potential partner is telling you something, but then if you don't properly listen to understand, you listen to reply, then you will not get the whole story, right? He may be revealing some sort of baggage because he's trying to bring his wall down probably, but because you're not listening properly, you listen to reply, you may not get that, and then you may get that later on, and it may uh, create a lot of friction, and therefore then you have to separate because early on you're not getting that. That's just an example, right? Or we, become too nervous to fully listen to what he has to say. We just, chattering monkey. You just talk meaningless sort of stuff because you're nervous, so you're not listening. So beware of that. So that's tip number two, listening. Number three, shine the right energy or the right vibes. I know some ladies when they've been brokenhearted so many times, or they don't feel, love. There's no self-love. They're not, um, confident themselves. The vibe is desperate. I want to cling on you, my potential partner, and that will send them without so many words. It's just the energy. Send them running time and time again. Women, especially women, feel this way simply because they're so desperate of having somebody that wants them because they're not fully confident themselves. Then they become a Klingon. Is that a Star Wars creature or something?
Oh,
But I've heard of a Klingon one time, so I thought maybe that. If not, that's okay. Uh,
I love them.
sorry.
I love them tips.
But if the vibe is welcoming, loving, and accepting for the person for who he is, not wanting to change the person for what he is not, then the chance of a long lasting, loving relationship is far greater. So those are my three tips.
I feel like I manifested them. I'm going to write down my three negotiables and my three non-negotiables straight after this.
And listening, oh, well, you're already great in listening anyway, and not being desperate.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm okay. I mean, like, the listening one, when you talk about the nervousness, where the voice starts chatting and then that comes in and you zone out and you're like, what did he say? Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
That's good. All right, people. Now we come to the part of the podcast, which is the true and false statement. We've been having fun all the way. Anyway, Sam said that I sneaked to Thailand for a spontaneous secret holiday to Thailand to meet a boy I hadn't spoken to for 7 years. Uh, okay, so she sneaked to Thailand for a spontaneous secret holiday to meet a boy that she had not spoken to for 7 years. That's statement number one. So statement number two, I toured as a hairstylist with a band around Europe and ended up as a backing singer. Oh, um, there's the second one is juicier in story. I'll pick the second one. Is that correct?
No. I I'd actually love the second one to be true. Maybe I'll manifest that.
Yeah.
And be coming back and singing with the band. But it was the first one. I I recently had got single for, so I was in a long term relationship for 7 years. And the person that I was speaking to just before that long-term relationship contacted me straight after, energetically straight after my breakup. But I was in Australia and
Yeah.
they were in the UK. But it was like, I have to see you. So it was super raw with my ex. I was still on the visa. I didn't want him to know. It was a bit controlling, so it was a bit of a secret. So then I sneaked to Thailand and told all my friends and everyone that I was going to see my sister for a week and deleted my social media
Yeah.
and was off, which
Yeah.
was the most spontaneous thing I've done.
Sometimes the spontaneous thing is the best thing.
Yeah, it was so good. And when that was when I started truly understanding the power of our mind and imagination, because I was imagining or fantasizing about someone whisking me off, someone, away from all of this chaos that I was experiencing here in Sydney,
Yeah.
and one not connected. And it happened. And I was like, oh my God, be careful what you think about, because it comes to reality.
That's right. That's right. It's really powerful.
It's so powerful. So shall we dive into your truths and false? So, Ingrid's two statements. The first one is Ingrid's client's friend thought that she had sex because she was glowing. Statement number two. Ingrid's sister's friends thought that she just had sex because she was glowing. Mm.
Hmm.
Maybe number two, your sister's friends.
You will be incorrect.
No, no, you clients, your
Yeah,
clients' friends.
single child, so I don't have a sister.
Oh, well, there you go.
But, my client, my new client, she came to have a facial with me. Well, as you with hairdressing, me with facial, it's very holistic. I included so many different things. She felt so relaxed. There's guided meditation, there's hot stones throwing in there, card reading throwing in there. Uh, and this huge hot stone on her belly. And she said, "Oh my God, where did you find this huge stone?" I said, "Well, it's part of my baby collection. I do hot stone massage." And yeah, she was very relaxed at the end. Initially came very, very stressed. And then the next day she texts me. Or no, I actually text her back, "Hey, how are you feeling after your facial?" "Oh, you never guess what happened. I went to a place and then my friends start asking me, did you have..." "No, I just had a facial, but probably I should be on my way." She's single. "I should be on my way and look to get laid."
That's great. All flustered and feeling relaxed. Yeah,
Definitely. And definitely, as you said, glowing from within.
that's that glow. It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so.
hydrated, definitely, and she feel more relaxed. But then with everything else, the holistic approach of doing a facial make her glow from the inside.
Oh, that's so funny. That's great.
Cool. So, last question for you before we finish. What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
Oh, um, well, to relax, I just love a bath. I just absolutely love a bath. It was one of my non-negotiables when I was looking for an apartment. And I'll do the essential oils and candles and relaxing music. It's just, yeah, it's heaven. Plus, like, just there's just something about the water and like washing our hair and making it a full set like ceremony and setting an intention in the bath. I find it me happy place. and to add raunchiness into relationships. Well, it's been a while, but I'd have to say, like play, like just having fun. Like I'm all about inner child and massage and getting dressed up. Like I love expressing through clothes, and I do really love like sexy underwear and lingerie. So, but I'm calling it in.
Yes.
You heard?
Yes, and a good one to Sam. No worries at all. All right, beautiful people. Thank you so much for watching our collaboration together. I hope you enjoyed and had fun with us. Next week, definitely another beautiful podcast guest will be coming to my podcast. And Sam, if people would like to connect with you, how can they um, contact you?
Yeah, so just head over to Instagram and Samantha Tune is my main account. And if you want some holistic hair healing, then it'll be Tune Conscious Hair.
Check the Instagram, Tune Conscious Hair. And people, if you would like more relationship advice, or if you want to consult with me, get some coaching with me, you can go to my website, www.kahyangan.com.au, and request for a free chat. So that's KAHYANGAN.com.au, and request for a free chat. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway, if you like this one. Thank you so much, Sam. It's been fun and so lovely to learn from you and have have chat with you. How'd you feel?
I'm like, my smile is like there to there. I'm like, this has been so much fun. Thank you for the opportunity to share in this way. I've learned a lot too, and I'm super grateful.
Thank you so much. Keep well and lots of love. Bye, people.
Bye.